Midlife crisis. This is a period in your life where you tend to struggle with your own identity and self-confidence. This happens sometimes between the ages of 40 to 60 years old, and it can just happen at any moment in your life with it. It usually affects both genders. It's not considered as a disorder, but you do have that overwhelming sense of disconnect and also discontent with life itself. Most likely, when people suffering from a midlife crisis, they will do something out of the extremes. Like, example, going to buy a Lamborghini, an expensive car, an expensive condo somewhere. They have a really bad impulse to try to build a drive in their life. Now, take it for DarkSidePhil, the man that proclaims he never suffers from stress, but yet, every single time that you see him on there, he's dressed and he looks like he's about to have a midlife crisis. Until he tells you he doesn't have one and he's proud to be where he's at because he's happy and married and successful.
Will I ever change the name of the podcast? Why would I change the name of the podcast, Drew? Well, what's wrong with the Level 1 podcast?
One, it's not a podcast. It's just you sitting there vlogging about what's going on with your life every single time you have a day off segment and you're just talking about your grievances in the world. Essentially what a vlog is. Number two, a podcast would actually have more than just one person. 2, 3, maybe 4 people. A good example of a podcast would be something like The Last Podcast on the Left, Disc Only, Who's Right Podcast. Those 3 examples are considered to be a podcast. This is not a podcast.
Don't you like that name? I think it's a great name.
Yeah, you only like that name because Keemstar said you're down at mission 1, down at level 1, and you took that as a way to say, hey, Keemstar, fuck you. I'm just going to take what you said and make it to a podcast because I'm better than you.
It's become synonymous with me and my content. It's a great, catchy name. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, but not in the best possible way, Phil. It's just a way for you to say, hey, I'm affected by Keemstar. The same thing with LTG telling you to work on your sexy. So you think, oh, hey, I'm going to ditch the gamer shirts and just wear button-up shirts, making myself look more like my age.
What's wrong with that name? Exactly. I'm at a loss. Why do I need to rebrand exactly?
Just rebrand. Drink your water, rebrand it, because this ain't a podcast, Phil.
When will we be level 2? To 672. Why do we ever need to be level 2?
I'm just going to say this flat out. You're not even at level 1 anymore. You're down to level 0. You're into the tutorial area, and you're fucking up the tutorials every single time.
Is that not the point that I've been making all along? That there's different levels of success that you can have in life.
You never really said anything about success in life. You try to influence this into a video game. Like, oh yeah, we're having fun at level 1, the beginning area of the game, which is the easiest.
And those people out there that have insane amounts of views, insane amounts of popularity, insane amounts of money, they can be up there where they are. I don't care. I'm happy being down here, normal person on level 1 like you.
So, the guy who filed for bankruptcy has to beg every single fucking time that he needs money, and he's struggling to get views on his channels. Yep, that's a great way to put that into the Level 1 podcast.
I don't need to be some sky-high fucking celebrity to be happy and successful in my life.
Yeah, but you'll just talk about them for a long period of time, just showing off your jealousy and your envy. Like, for God's sakes, if jealousy and envy were real people, you will be holding hands with them skipping across the meadow.
Right now, I am happy. So, why would I need to pass level 1 when level 1 is great?
Level 1 is not great, Phil. People want to actually advance and move on to like level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. They want to move on and actually, get better with their life. They want to actually aspire to be better. But you're just looking at it going, I don't need to be better. I have no aspirations to grow. I'm fine right here just being entirely fucking lazy.
Not everyone in life is obsessed with becoming viral or growing to be celebrity status or, normal people don't need that.
And you're right, normal people don't really make content on the internet. Instead, they're going on with their everyday life. On the other hand, you're not normal. You're just the guy that will sit there showing off your envy and jealousy onto everyone else on the internet that got better than you, that surpassed you. There are people out there that have over 210,000 subscribers. They're either sitting at 500,000, 1 million, or even 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 15 million. And yet you're looking at them going, man, they just got what they like because they're butt kissers, that they're just grabbing the bag. No, they know how to play the game.
At all. Normal people are happy to just exist and have some positivity and share that positivity with others and have a good life for themselves.
But then again, though, Phil, normal people actually want to advance in life. They want to actually just move on and actually find something that they can actually work towards. Like, example, you work at a job that you really enjoy. Sure, you're at the base level of an employee, but you want to be able to move up in the company that you really like to work for. You want to become a boss. You want to become a higher up of a boss. You want to proceed to advance. That's what normal people have. It's fine to have that, Phil, but you're looking at it going, that's negative. It's always negative. No, they're happy being where they're at right now. Not everybody's happy going to their job every single day and just coming home with enough money to scrape by. The only reason why you're happy in your predicament is because you find a way to, I don't know, just sit there and go, oh, hey, I could just take all the money from people and just use it for bills. And that doesn't happen.
I don't need ginormous viral success.
But yet why'd you have that throwback channel session on your birthday where you're just talking about, hey guys, look at all the times that I actually had a lot of views.
I don't want it. I never wanted it. When I started on YouTube in 2008, it was a hobby and I never thought it would ever blow up. When I started to become popular, I was like, all right, I'm happy where I am. I'm not going to change and sell out and become this fake person.
This is a bunch of fucking bullshit right here. You did sell out, Phil. When you signed your name on the dotted line for the Machinima contract, you sold yourself out. You essentially became Machinima's little puppet. And you just want to go around saying that, no, it's not me, it's Machinima. Machinima was the one that sucked.
Which is what everyone wants me to be in order to get the bag and make money and whatever. I'm just going to be myself and be true to myself and see what happens.
Yeah, and look where that got you, Phil. You're miserable, but proclaiming to everybody that you're happy.
And now here we are, some almost 16 years later, and I am where I am, and I'm still able to do this for a living, and I'm still happy, and I have a great family, and I have a great hangout session with you guys every day.
The way that you said that, Phil, it almost sounded like you said a paying out section, meaning that they're paying you money just to stream. And don't go on saying that you have a happy family. A wife and a cat do not constitute as a family.
And I have no problems with that whatsoever. So why do I need to be above level 1, right? Remember? That's what Keemstar said. That's where the name came from.
And there we go. You had to bring up Keemstar because he was the one that said that. Because what he was saying is because you were begging on the internet trying to make your ends meet. Groceries, paying your rent, aka the mortgage, trying to survive out there in society. You're down at level 1. When Keemstar offered you $50K to be on a podcast, you completely rejected it. And that's the reason why he said that shit about you, Phil. Do you not realize that? Or did you just completely forget about that in your memory and you just drank it out of existence?
That I'm forever stuck on level 1. I like level 1.
Yeah, you like it where it's easy. Most people out there want a challenge. That's why they're at level 20, 50, maybe even 100 even.
A lot of people like level 1. We don't all have to be big egomaniacs.
Oh, great. This is rich coming from you, Phil. Talking about don't have to be an egomaniac, but yet you still talk about, well, back in my day, I used to be a prominent YouTuber.
Trying to be the absolute best person on earth. We're not all at cutthroat competition with each other.
Yeah, because no one really wants to be in competition with you because you're easy to surpass. Look at everyone that surpassed you, Phil.
Some of us are just happy to be good people and share those great positive experiences with others and just...
Yeah, this is a bunch of copium. This is a bunch of cap. What positive emotions do you even have with that, Phil? What positivity do you contribute to society or your own chat? You provide none of that, though. Instead, what you just do is just brainwash your audience to believing that you're the better person, that you're the one that's the honest, truthful, interactive, positive influence. And don't listen to all the successful people out there. They're nothing compared to me. I'm better than them, even though you barely scrape by to get 1,000 views on a fucking video.
Say, leave me alone. But that's what some people don't get who are egomaniacs. They just think...
Yeah, yet you want detractors to leave you alone. What do? You talk about detractors again.
I've got to be the best. I got to be the best. Better than everyone. You know?
There's nothing wrong with that, Phil. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best, though. But the difference between you and them, at least they know it's like, oh, hey, I'm doing the best that I can with it, though. Hey, I didn't do well. Okay, go back to the drawing board and figure out what I could do to make it better. You, on the other hand, think what you're doing right now, the begging method, with that shitty little background that you have right here, you know, right around here, all this right here, you think that this is successful, when in reality, everyone else could do things better.
So there you go.
There you go, Kafka.
Was I ever into sports drinks like Powerade or Gatorade? Yeah, when I was younger, I did drink Gatorade, and it was always like that lemon lime one was the one I drank the most.
So the generic one. Gotcha.
But then I realized I don't need them. I'm not an athletic person. That's supposed to be people who are basically working out all the time, and they need to replenish their electrolytes. If you're not working out all the time and sweating constantly, you have no need to drink Gatorade.
Or maybe you can actually be out there working underneath the hot sun, maybe mowing the lawn or something. You do need your electrolytes, Phil, but it's not necessarily catered to fucking sports people. It's not. But you like to generalize everything, don't you?
Putting all these things into your body you don't need, and all it's going to happen is your body's going to piss them right out. So it's just a complete waste. There's no reason to buy or drink Gatorade or Powerade unless you're basically an athlete.
Not really, though, Phil. What if you actually work out in the fucking heat all day? What if you work in a place where the humidity is really, really strong and you're just sweating out the toxins? You do need your electrolytes to bring it back up, Phil. But again, you love to generalize. That's only for athletes. Jesus Christ, Phil. Just please stop.
So that's why I stopped drinking it.
Oh no, Phil. The dead air's back again. Oh no. Nerber, you got your work cut out for you. Oh, he blew his nose. Oh no. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Well, dead air, then throat clearing. Jesus Christ.
I literally just explained that, Maximum Turbo. You didn't hear it? So, a year or two ago, Keemstar was insulting me publicly on his Twitter account. And he did this big rant video about me, right?
Yeah, do you want to explain the reason why he was talking shit about you on Twitter, Phil? Or are you going to admit that from the record?
Right? And in it, he said that DSP will always be stuck on level 1. You know, everyone else surpassed him. He's a loser because he's stuck on level 1.
Actually, no, Phil. He said down at mission 1. He didn't say anything about level 1. That's a Mandela effect in motion right there. Also, the reason why he called your ass out and called you a loser on Twitter was essentially because you kept ducking him. Sure, you got in contact with him about the podcast for 50K, but you kept ducking him every single time he tried to call you. And then he finally shows up in your chat, and you're like, oh, do I ban you now or ban you later? But you ended up banning Keemstar later. So yeah, that's the reason why he talks shit about you on Twitter. There you go. I explained it because the Dents probably won't get this answer.
What's wrong with level 1? It's a nice place to be. To have a small, dedicated following of people who like who I am and what I do, to be able to do my own thing and not have to abide by anyone else's rules or answer to anyone else because I don't have sponsors or partners or have to worry about, oh, I'll piss someone off and lose a big revenue stream or something like that.
I mean, Phil, didn't you already lose 1 Minute Man because of political disagreements? I mean, there's that.
And the fact that I can have this positive, intimate relationships with you guys every day, we can
Wait, huh? Intimate?
And the fact that I can have this positive, intimate relationships with you guys every day.
Intimate? You said intimate. That's not the right word with that, Phil. That's the word you don't use. Intimate would be something that you have with a significant other. That's not something that you have with your chat, though. Interactive, sure, if that's what you're trying to say, okay, but you said intimate. What the fuck?
We can talk like this, right? If I were bigger, we wouldn't be able to do that.
You still would be able to, Phil, but the problem is that you don't want to. You just want to sit there going, all right, where's my money coming? Where's my money? No one gave me money. What the fuck?
And the fact that I've been running for 16 years and I'm still able to make a living, right?
Yeah, able to make a living by going through the cracks of society.
But that's what some people just don't understand that. They think, well, that's failure. That's failure?
It is failure, Phil, because you've done nothing to make your channel better, though. You're relying on people to give you $50, $100 every single time. That's what you're hoping for. But when you get $5, $2, $1, you look at that going, that's not enough. I need more. The Hogan pulls have to come.
Why exactly is that failure? Explain. Oh, well, you could have been way bigger. If you had ridden the trends and did all the viral things, the thumbnails, the clickbait titles, the drama content, and all of that, you would have been much bigger.
Uh-huh. This is your inner voices talking to you now, isn't it?
I don't care. I don't want to be bigger.
Uh-huh. But yet, why are you changing the thumbnails? Why are you changing the titles? Why are you fucking following the trends? Helldivers 2. Why'd you follow the trend with playing Fallout 4 because of the Fallout TV series? Why'd you play Power World when everyone else was playing it, Phil? You are following trends. Problem is, though, is that you want to sit there and go, I don't do that. I don't do that. Power World. Oh, no. I'm just playing because it was Game Pass.
I really have no intention of being bigger.
Yeah, you really have no intentions of that. Why do you think Cat's crying downstairs?
I like where I am. I like who I am. I like that I never had to change to get ahead, and I never stepped on people to get where I am.
Yet you stepped on people like John Rambo, Howard, Leanna, most of the people that were moderators of you back in the day that actually helped you out, all the people that donated shit to you that you immediately called shit out for no fucking reason. There are a lot of people that you shat on and stepped on just to get where you're at in life, and it's not a good look for you, Phil. Also, you want to say you're happy where your life right now? Huh, I had no idea that begging on the internet for money was a good thing.
So, basically, I'm the anti-Keemstar, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, But the thing is with that, though, Keemstar is actually more successful. So what you're trying to say is that you're not successful. Good to know.
That's where I got the name from. He used it as an insult. I used it as a badge of honor. I'm happy to be at level 1 and still successful.
That's not a badge of honor, though, Phil. You misconstrued what he said about you, and you took it in a very bad state of delusions of grandeur right now.
Thank you for telling me that. And now I will proudly display that every day when I start up my stream.
I wouldn't do that. I would end myself in Minecraft.
Soul Potato says, very few people are ever content in their lives, so I'm happy for you. Well, this is the thing, like I've been saying. It's not possible for me to have a midlife crisis.
Oh, Phil, you've been having a midlife crisis for quite some time. Do I need to replay the intro of why that's the case?
It's literally not possible. I'm 42 years old. This would be when I would have my midlife crisis.
Not necessarily the case, though, Phil. In between 40 to 60 is when you have that midlife crisis. But then again, Phil, you sitting there very discontent with your content and overwhelmed by quote-unquote stress and that you're not happy with what you're doing, you automatically experience the midlife crisis. It's ongoing on your channel.
Right? I can't have one. My life today is better than it was when I was younger. When I was younger, I was unhealthy. I was alcoholic. I was lonely and depressed.
You're still an alcoholic. You're still unhealthy. Lonely, that's very subjective. And depressed, I never think that you were actually depressed with that, Phil. You tried doing it the first time, but then you tried using it as a way to bring it up for the sake of convenience, so that way people could give you sympathy dollars, or also a way for you to attack your detractors or anyone that had a disagreement with you.
I didn't like who I was. I didn't know where my life was going.
And again, you still don't know where your life is going, and you're not happy with your life still, but yet you want to lie to people saying that you're happy with your life.
Right? Like, my younger self is the inferior version of myself.
But then again, though, Phil, there's some people out there that want to go back to their younger days. They actually wish that a time machine was there to go back to the younger self. You want to know why, Phil? In some cases, they want to tell their younger self, hey, do this. Then you'll be better. So that way you'll actually have a chance of success, that you won't be miserable when you're older. That's one way to do it. But on the other hand, some people are more happier in their younger days and not happier in their current age.
Today, I look better than I ever did before. I know that.
Yeah, no, you don't.
That's sad because my face is disgusting, but
Oh, yeah, you're totally fucking disgusting, Phil. Your fucking face looks like it's melting. That's not healthy. You have no fucking glow. And when you do have a glow, that's grease.
I still actually look better than I ever did before.
That's very debatable.
Feel better than I ever did.
No, you don't. Because you're constantly complaining that, oh my god, my back, oh, my fucking carpal tunnel, oh, my eczema. You're making up all these excuses of things that you have, these medical conditions that you clearly don't have.
I have a better job than I have ever had.
This isn't really a job, though, Phil. It's a hobby that you monetize.
I have a great home life with my family.
Not really, though, Phil. Why is it that every single time that you want Kat on, she doesn't want to do anything with you? That's not really a happy home life now, is it?
Like, this is the better version of me.
No, it is not. It is the insufferable version of you. Back in the day, back when you first started doing YouTube stuff, yeah, you were insufferable at times, but you were at least tolerable. Nowadays, you're not even tolerable.
So, that's what I mean. Like, why? How could I have a midlife crisis? It's not even possible.
It is possible for you to have a midlife crisis, but the issue here is that you're going through it all throughout. You've been dealing with it ever since the fucking years ago, during the bankruptcy, and you weren't even hitting your 40s yet.
I'm better now. I would never
Ha 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 ha, nervous laughter, I'm better now, ha ha ha, chat, you believe me?
I want to go back to the days when I was younger. I don't like myself from when I was younger.
But yeah, back when you were younger, you were making a shitload of money, and you want that.
I was a dumbass troll in the Street Fighter community.
You still are to this day, Phil. Shut the fuck up.
I don't fucking like that. I don't ever want to go back to being like that.
You still are the same, Phil. You're constantly shitting on the Cannon Brothers for the rollback netcode. You're shitting on people who fight against you in Street Fighter, and when they whoop your ass, oh my god, top tier characters. Oh my god, they push a button. Oh, they're scripting. Oh my god, lag switch. You're scrub. You're coming up with a lot of excuses to why you're losing. You're still the same person that you were back then, Phil. Stop lying to yourself.
Do I miss having infinite time to play video games? No.
Yeah, but then again though, Phil, that's how you made a lot of money. You even said that whenever you would just sit there, rush to play all the video games, trade them in, go get a new game, and then do the same thing over and over and over again because you were making a shitload of money. So yes, you do miss it.
Rather like having a balance. I like the fact that I have a life outside of being in this office playing games.
No, you fucking don't, Phil. Once a week where you take off to spend time with your wife, but your wife doesn't even want to do anything with you outside of the house. Yeah, it really says a lot about your home life, doesn't it?
And I have more interesting things to do than just being here playing games all day. I like playing games. I like hanging out with you guys.
Not necessarily the case though, Phil. You only like it whenever people give you money.
But I need that separation. I need that life and work separation, you understand?
You don't have that, Phil, because you like to bring up your personal shit when you come to quote-unquote work. Because that way, you're hoping that people can toss you a few bones at you, hoping that it could make some due for the bills and all that shit. So no, you don't separate it.
Without it, it would be too much of the same thing, and I would basically be like completely overdone with this too much, and I get tired.
But then again, though, Phil, you're constantly saying that you're tired, that you're stressed, that you don't want to do this anymore, and that every single time you come back the very next day, I'm happy.
You know, I would get burnt out. I'm glad that I have that separation.
You don't have that separation, Phil, like I said before.
But once again, I hope that everything is working. The reason I say that is we have 0 contributions.
Oh, yeah, that's a great start now, isn't it? I'm very successful at level 1. Guys, level 1 is the best because I'm successful. No contributions.
On the YouTube side today, not a single super chat, not a single membership, not even a membership notification. So I hope that things are working because, like I said, YouTube was broken this morning.
Yeah, and now it's fixed.
I do hope that everything's, fine. I can't tell. It's a rarity when nothing happens on the podcast, so that's why I'm a little nervous of that maybe they broke it or something. I hope.
No, you're only nervous that people aren't going to give you money. PayPal's not broken, Super Chat's not broken for you, Phil. It's just showing off the revenue that you make. That will be at 0. That's the only thing that's broken. My God, Phil, you truly are paranoid when it has to do with YouTube breaking.
They didn't. I really hope they fucking didn't.
I really hope they fucking didn't break my money.
I saw this morning, like I said, I tried to open one of my videos in another browser and an ad did play, and I was like, okay, so it must be working.
And yet he's sitting there freaking out over nothing because it was already fixed. God damn this dead air, dude.
Anything else you guys want to talk about this morning? You guys are, it's weird, we have over 400 people, but you guys are kind of quiet today. I don't know what's going on. Why are you so quiet?
I love the fact he's sitting there going, man, I have a lot of people talking. Wait, no one's talking to me. Why aren't y'all talking? I'm nervous. Help.
Usually on a stream like today, we have a lot of people talking, and today's it's like really slow.
Yeah, it's very slow, guys. I don't understand. Why is it so slow? Help me, please. Help me understand. For Phil to sit there and say he doesn't have a midlife crisis, but every single time that you look into his own content that he's very discontented and overwhelmed by the imaginary stresses in his life, it's clear as day that this guy is going through a midlife crisis 24/7. But yet, for some reason, he wanted to bring up Keemstar because someone asked him about the Level 1 podcast, because he wants to go on to detail about how he's successful where he's at right now and that he'll never be like someone like Keemstar. Which is kind of obvious though, because the guy is successful, given the fact that he is not that great of a person. But you gotta look at what he has done in his life, and he has been very successful. That is something that Phil would never have. But we already knew that from the get-go. But with that said and done, I'm going to end this off with the Phil prayer. Deliver us from the dents, deliver us from the pay pigs, deliver us from the pignosis. May we never become dented. May we never become a beggar like DarkSidePhil. And just for the love of God, don't be like Phil. If you want to be better in life, go for it. Sure, there's going to be obstacles that will be in your way just for you to get where you want in life. You can always overcome them. Don't be like Phil and just sit there and have a defeatist mentality about it. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope everyone has a good rest of y'all's day, rest of y'all's night. Keep you really beautiful people. I hope to make more videos sometime in the future.